Hi there, everyone, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. My name is Christian Eschbach, and today I am going to be taking a look at Queen, News of the World. I have had this CD for so long, and I bought it so early in my collecting that the jacket's gone. So, picture. Alright, so this is the album that we're talking about, Queen, News of the World. Now, reason I ended up with this album is I was out shopping for Queen after, everybody gets exposed to it. This is where the story goes, how far this goes back. The first Wayne's World movie. We all remember Bohemian Rhapsody. And we all remember how that went. And we all remember how everybody fell in love with it, which led a lot of people to buying this greatest hits album. Okay. There was a Imagine one that went with it, which was this greatest hits album. But I could not find this album when I bought this album. So in order to get We Will Rock You, I bought this album. I am happy that I bought this album. Now, this two most famous songs from the Queen repertoire, no one can argue, is We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, okay? You hear them everywhere, doesn't matter what it is, okay? So those are the first two tracks on this album. Boom, boom, clap, boom, boom, clap, boom, boom, clap, followed by a killer guitar solo. That is We Will Rock You. For me, for one of the very first songs I ever karaoke'd, I have actually played the song live on stage, singing it and playing drums at the same time. It's a fun song. We all know the song. There's really no need for me to hash it out. We Are the Champions. We all know that song. Great song. Big chorus. Oh, we are the champions. Whatever. Okay. No need for me to hash that one out, okay? Just, let's get into the meat of this album, because the meat of this album is where it gets really cool. Now, I do apologize. I don't remember who wrote which song and who sang on which song, etc., etc., etc. Freddie does most of the vocals. However, guitarist Brian May does some vocals on here. Everybody does some vocals on this album. Whether or not they're doing lead vocals is another story. But, and the whole way around, this is really just a really good album. And my cat's going to join us for a moment here while she decides what she's going to do. You going to leave? You going to take off? You going to stay? No, you can't stay while I'm doing the review. You either... No. When I get into this, I do apologize. Here's what you need to know, okay? When there's piano work, it's Freddie Mercury. When there's guitar work, it's Brian May. When there's bass work, it's John Deacon. When there's drums, it's Roger Taylor, okay? Vocals can be any of the four. Obviously, Freddie is the primary vocalist on the majority of this. And not every one of these songs was written by the whole group. Usually it was one main composer of the song. So let's really get into this, and as we go here, just look for the details up on the screen for each song as to who composed it and who sings. Okay? You got We Will Rock You, starts off the album, great way to start off the album, blah, blah, blah. Then we go to We Are the Champions, which has to follow We Will Rock You. Okay, we understand that. That part's done and over. So right after that, we go into Sheer Heart Attack. Now, Sheer Heart Attack is just this fast killer pace song if you've never heard it. And I just love the sweep of the strings you can hear with Brian May's fingers at the very beginning, just kind of dragging across him real fast as he's getting into position to start ripping into this. And I mean, Brian May is one hell of a killer guitarist. That man can play fast and heavy with the best of them. This album really is kind of, I want to say almost prog. It could have been a prog metal album in ways. There's definitely some elements in there, and Queen definitely is prog. I don't care what anybody says, all right? Queen's prog. Uh, but the right kind of prog, they do it right. They don't go overboard with everything. They still know how to do it commercially, but they know how to experiment. They know how to do different things. They know how to have fun with it. And Sheer Heart Attack really showcased how fast and hard and heavy they really could be if they wanted to be, while still having some very, very sleek production on the vocals. This was produced by Queen and assisted by Mike Stone originally, if anybody cares. Then from there we go into All Dead. Now, Sheer Heart Attack to All Dead, great way to go when you think about it lyrically. And it does have that nice flow to it. And I like All Dead because All Dead. I just always say the one line, sorry. But All Dead has this great, wonderful, playful atmosphere and spirit to it. A lot of Freddie on the piano, just kind of bouncing around, having a good time with the song. It's just, considering the lyrical content, it's quite a delightful little melody. And then, it's really nice the way this flows, because from there we go into Spread Your Wings and Fly. Which, when you think about it, you have your heart attack, you're all dead, and then you spread your wings and fly away. And Freddie's vocals on that one are really, really pretty, and, it's... Freddie just has such delivery when he sings songs, and the way his vocals... everybody's heard it, everybody knows how he delivers. But specifically, I think on this whole entire album, Spread Your Wings is maybe Freddie's best vocals on this album for sure, and it showcases the talent and the beauty and the rawness of what he could do, it's just so pretty. And then side A of the vinyl would have ended with Fight From the Inside. Fight From the Inside is a really cool tune. I want to say that it's Roger Taylor singing on this one. Maybe as the primary, because the vocals aren't quite Freddie. Now, the one thing I like about this song is this would have been 1977, so disco was just kind of coming in. And you'd kind of think that it would be Freddie that would be pushing more for that disco-esque motif within songs. But this one here, Fight From the Inside, really kind of has this disco-esque, you really kind of dance to it kind of vibe. And it's hard and it's heavy at the same time. There's something really cool. The energy to it is just pure combustion, but danceable combustion, man. Fight from the inside. Oh yeah, and the way they do the vocals and the production on it, man, it's just great. Little bit of distancing on a little echo, maybe a little reverb. Just, ooh, nice, very tasteful, very very elegantly done. Now we get into the second side of the album. I'm doing CD here, folks. So for me, it's all one continuous thing through. And we get Down, Make Love. Now, there are songs that make you love the bass. And this one, John Deacon is very underrated as a bassist. He really is. And part of me is a little bummed out that he stepped away from Queen and he's not touring with the rest of the band. And he's decided not to pursue that line. Because he really dropped down some sweet ass bass lines. And I'd love to hear new material from the band. I really would, guest vocalists throughout the whole entire thing, but actual new songs, not even guest vocalists, just the band members without Freddie even. I think it would be really cool to hear and really cool to do. I think they really should, an official Queen album that way. But Get Down, Make Love is one of those reasons why I say that, it's Freddie all over the vocals on this one. But the bass, and the drums in there, and it's such a sexy song. And then when it gets going, every time you get high, I wanna come down. Every time I get high, just so many in there. Get down, make low. It's just such an elegantly composed song, and it just, ooh, oh, so sexy. Sleeping on the Sidewalks. All right, this is Brian May singing on this one, and this is a Brian May song. And apparently, this song is the only song on the entire album that was recorded in one take, aside from the vocals. The vocals had to be overdone afterwards, to get them just perfect. I really dig Sleeping on the Sidewalks. It's a really cool bluesy kind of song. It's compared to everything else on the album, it is definitely something different. It's something a lot more raw, a lot more. I don't want to say unique, but compared to the rest of the album, it is. It's that gem sort of. After that, we go into Who Needs You. Who Needs You is a good tune. Like, there isn't a bad tune on this album. There really isn't. There's just certain songs that are definitely album cuts and certain songs that really kind of pop and stand out. Who Needs You is one of those songs that when you're listening to the album, you absolutely love it. You totally can dig into it. I don't know if I think there's anybody out there that would say it's their favorite song. Then you go on to It's Late. It's Late is the longest song on this album. Now, most of the songs on this album stay under 3.5 minutes, okay? The exceptions being Spread Your Wings, which clocks in at 3:42, and then we get to It's Late, which clocks in at 6:27. Now, from what I have read and whatnot, this was visualized as a 3-part act, and the way it's presented. And if you look at the runtime and you look at the average Queen song on here, it makes sense. It's Late is a really great song. It helps fill out the album. It is a great track on the album. I love the way it moves throughout the song and whatnot. I love the chorus on there. I love the harmonies and the vocals. You really cannot beat Queen for vocals and harmonies, really. I don't. No, not where it can still be at least half-ass replicated live, without the double tracking and the multi-track and stuff like that. Just the actual band themselves doing the harmonies. And they do a fantastic job. And It's Late is, I think, a good example of that. But It's Late, I think, is a good example of the band as a whole coming together and creating another great song like Bohemian Rhapsody kind of thing. Just maybe a little bit, but different. It's definitely not them trying to achieve another Bohemian Rhapsody. It's completely different from that. It's just another great long song from them that has a bunch of different vibes and feels throughout it. And then the album, usually I like when an album finishes with something really strong, something really cool, something really interesting. It doesn't necessarily have to be the heaviest song on the album or the strongest song on the album, but it's got to be something that makes you really go, damn, I want more. And My Melancholy Blues typically would be a song that I would really dislike finishing out an album because it's kind of a little softer, it's a little more mellow, it doesn't have a definitive punch to finish an album. It doesn't give that knockout blow. It kind of leaves you melancholy, really, at the end of the album. But on this album, in this context, with all the different songs that are on this album, it really works, and I think it is a very strong finish to the album. I think the way that it closes out the album really lends an artistic vibe and feel to the album, and I really, really enjoy it. But for me, the album does not end there. This here was the 1991 reissue done on Hollywood Records in the US, or if you want, North America. This goes in part with just after Wayne's World comes out, Bohemian Rhapsody becomes huge again, everybody wants to hear Queen. So this was reissued. The nice part about the reissue is it also means that I got decent sound quality on this. It would have been, I believe, an ADD recording. It's not marked on here with the 3 letters like they used to do back in the day, but this would have had a little bit of remastering to it, not a lot. And then the reason I bring this up is originally this would have been an 11 song album. On CD, it was a 12 track CD. The last track is We Will Rock You, and it's the 1991 bonus remix Ruined by Rick Rubin. I don't know if that was done as a joke. I do know that there are a lot of people that have heard it. They absolutely loathe it. They hate it. Rick Rubin put a kind of hip-hoppy like backbeat on it and gave that album, you know, that what everybody considers that warmth, that's the hiss off of an album. I don't want to say digitally, but you know, it was recorded for CD kind of thing, or it was, you know, produced CD wise. So it's got that cold hiss instead of that warm hiss that you get from actual vinyl. And it's this kind of weird hip-hoppy remix. It's cool in its own experimental element with Rick Rubin saying, hey, I'm a producer, look at what I experimented and played with. But at the same time, it really doesn't do anything for the album. That being said, it's the reason why I've never replaced this either, because you can only get that remix on here. As much as I'm not a huge fan of it, I think it's something worth having. Anyways, that's my views on Queen News of the World. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. Hit subscribe so you get notifications when new videos come out. Otherwise, peace, love, and take care.